Hello, this is Christian Semlich here, talking about leadership. You definitely need one if you don't have one. What am I talking about? It's the vision of who you are as a person, the vision of who you are as a leader, the vision of who you are in your company, and the greater vision of what kind of impact you want to make or what legacy you want to leave as a leader. There are great leaders who, they wrote books or they uh, there were written books about them. So it really depends on what you want. And I don't talk about goals. I talk about really about the kind of vision that you have in order to get your employees to follow you. We were talking about trust yesterday, and that's one of the things that is very, very important. If you don't have a strong vision, then nature doesn't want to have a vacuum. And if you don't have a strong vision that is also emotionally connected to you, then what happens is that you return past back to your past patterns, that you return to a behavior that is not helpful. Behavioral change is one of the most difficult things, in your life. Changing behaviors takes time, takes repetition, takes frequency, takes time. And without that, it's almost impossible. And of course, you need external feedback. Um, and stakeholder coaching, we use a feedback version where we have stakeholders, employees, bosses, and so on, people you are working with who are giving you feedback. They are, in fact, your external kind of coaches. In fact, you do it by yourself. The change must be an intrinsic wish to change something. If that intrinsic wish is not strong enough, you will go back to your old behaviors. The same is with vision. If there is not a deep intrinsic wish to really achieve something, to really change something, to have something that you believe in, then it's going back. So you will not be able to stick on it. That's why I was talking yesterday about why am I doing what I'm doing. I strongly believe that we lack the energy of women in leadership. We lack that energy, and we can see it in the world. So many destructions, so many things that are coming from the idea of being competitive. Although there is proof, there is evidence that collaboration beats competition all around. And what we also have is we have companies, big Fortune 500 companies, for example, IBM, who has a female leader, and her vision about the company, the way she is acting, brings together people, and that's what we call empathy. I was talking yesterday about building trust, and trust as the currency of a leader. Empathy is the second one. Don't want to rate one. I just list them up. So empathy is one thing. And what we have when we look at empathy is you need to be able to see and to literally see when you are speaking to someone, and if you are matching with your message the person's belief system. So uh, it is important um, that you are able to recognize emotions, that you are able to recognize emotions correctly, to to make the correct interpretation of that, and also then to communicate accordingly. And studies show that even from people who are believing that they usually know exactly what is going on in the face, and why a person makes that kind of gestures and how they behave like that, uh, in about 50% of the cases, they're wrong. So it's just wild guessing. Without proper training, you don't know. You have no idea what's going on. And especially when we are talking about micro expressions, that are the small expressions that just happen in the face, like that wasn't a micro expression because I did it on purpose. Maybe you saw it, maybe not. But in fact, what we have in the Leadership Academy is we are building in a whole training on reading facial emotions and body language based on studies, not just what is being delivered by other people, based on studies, 1,350 studies plus meta studies around that topic. So there's no wild guessing about what we're doing. It's very accurate. So what you're getting there is a skill set that you will never ever lose. Why? The interesting thing is, everyone around you is then your coach. Everyone around you is training you because you can read their faces, because you can read their expressions, because you see what they're doing. And if what they're doing is matching their message, and if they do not match their message, or the other way around, if they say something and the facial expressions and the body language does not match their message, something's wrong. I don't say they're lying, but then and only then, this rule of 7% language, and I don't think 35% body language, and what else? There is this stupid rule around where that is used all the time the wrong way. It only applies when the spoken word and facial expression body language doesn't match, then it applies, just to make that clear, which is also proven by studies. So knowing that, seeing, being able to really get the person's emotion at that specific moment, and then being able to connect with that person the right way is going to help you. Now, when you are using your vision and your personal idea, it's very important to see, okay, if that matches, not just to correct it, but what is going on in the other person, so you can talk to your employees or with your boss or whatever. It's really important that you are connected intrinsically based on your emotions. So when you work that out, your vision, then it's not something that just comes out of your head. It must feel the right way. It must feel good. It must feel enjoyable. A vision that is enjoyable, and the goals that you're working at based on that vision that is enjoyable, that is the right way where you can trust yourself on what you're working on. Then it comes from the right source, and that source is your inner belief system, is your soul, is whatever you believe in. That soul is guiding you. And it's also necessary that you learn to trust that inner voice, that gut feeling, or that unconscious competence that is there. So, as I said, part of the leadership training is that we're working on that. And it's going to be like the hero's journey. And if you know Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, or if you need, almost every Hollywood movie is built on the hero's journey concept. We are doing the same thing with you. You're going to be the hero of your journey. And we start from scratch. And what you will get out of it is going to be unbelievable. And especially for women, because what we designed is especially for women, because the vision is to have more women in leadership, more women, around the world in positions where they have an influence, where they have an impact. That's my vision. I really want that because I believe the women in balance with men will make a big difference on this planet. Thank you for listening. If you like it, please like it and share, and see you on the other side. You just see here the email link if you want to attend the first presentation about that. I would love to see you there. Bye for now.